Glorious casters, go.
Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome back to Game 3 of this North American semifinal match between KSC and '07. '07 trying to get back to the finals again, missing out on the North American finals last time. Looking good so far, up 2-0 in this match.
That's right.
Let's have a look at the KSC lineup here as they spawn from the northwestern side, of Trap. Sticking with Kremlin and Montana, rounding things out, Stalingrad, Moskva, Salem, fronted by Double Marceau, Shimakaze, and Zath. Check out Floops in a Z52.
That's right. And our boys back in the studio, we're talking about 20-kilometer Shimakaze, and Aussie Zeus is rocking just that. Now, looking over at our red team here at '07, we've got Kremlin and Ohio. For cruisers, we've got Stalingrad, Salem, and Double Des Moines. Bryce is in a Yu Yang. Interesting. Probably going to be
Indeed.
smoked by the way that he's going in front of Ocean Man.
Yeah,
because
looking at that Double Des Moines Yu Yang lineup, I think we know what that's going to turn into.
It's going to turn into a lot of hate, is what it's going to turn into. And then we've got for Destroyer, the final Destroyers, Marceau and Eagle Lance and the Shimakaze, rocking 12-kilometer torpedoes.
12-kilometer torpedoes. Now, let's talk, Zaf. You and I, we joked about the Yang, the Double Des Moines. Talk to me about why Yu Yang would appear in this kind of particular configuration, particularly with these ships accompanying him for folks who might not be familiar with this strategy.
Oh, sure. So the thing about the Yu Yang is it's got smoke, of course, or radar. In this particular setup, it's clearly smoke because you've got the two Des Moines literally just sitting there saying, you got that smoke? Got that smoke? Got that smoke? Like just ready to go, because that's going to keep them alive, ladies and gentlemen. It's a quick duration smoke, which means it doesn't last for too long. But the key is that the smoke reloads quickly as well. So these guys will only be exposed in time for one, maybe two battleship salvos that they kind of have to dodge, and then Price is back with another smoke right off the bat.
Trading radars here across the BCAP. Man with an RX-7 popped hit. It's his ace answering immediately with a radar from the opposite side, as a whole bunch of shells going out, but so far nobody's actually taking any damage.
Well, this is what we call baiting the radar. You put yourself in and get yourself ready to get out as soon as possible. Remember that Wargaming, God, it was like, what, over a year ago now, put in that...
Oh, Triarch! Oh!
All skill, no luck.
Oh, all skill, no luck, ladies and gentlemen, as the Z-Torps just run out of gas right before they get there.
So, like I was saying, what was it, maybe a year and a half ago, Wargaming added a 6-second delay to radar detection for other ships beyond that one player ship. So when Ace Baby popped the radar, nobody else could really shoot at Floops for 6 seconds. He knew his general direction, but that's about it.
Now, one of the things that I like about how things are shaping up along this A flank, Zath, right? Aussie Zeus is Shimakaze, 20-kilometer Shimakaze, you pointed out. He's down here. He's going to be able to pick up A before the opposing team is going to be able to do much about it. So KSC is going to pick up some early points there, and eventually '07 is going to steal that cap back, and KSC is not going to be able to do much about it. But what we are going to be looking at is 20-kilometer torpedoes going into the face of this 4-ship push by '07. And, ordinarily when we see ships pushing, usually you send an imbalance of forces to a flank. You want to kite it with fewer ships, which is what we're seeing KSC set up to do. That's Shadow Wolfish and Aussie Zeus obviously kind of keyed up to help try and slow this push down. But it's a 4v2. Ordinarily, you only see a 1-ship difference. Here we're looking at a 2-ship difference. I'm curious if that's going to work out, or if the Shimakaze is going to, be a bit of a force multiplier here with the torpedoes. He doesn't land anything out of that first salvo, but I am curious.
Well, so we talked about this before. I think it was on day 1 of Casting King of the Sea. There were, I think it was NACL versus, God, I can't remember who, but they had brought 2 Nevskys and 2 Hargumos that were smoke set up, and we were talking about how do you break that, and you break it by getting, frankly, lucky torpedo hits into smokes at inopportune times, and that's exactly what NACL was able to do. They broke a Harugumo right when it was Harugumo's turn to smoke, so
I remember that
made it a big problem. And then the Nevskys were detected as well, got themselves smashed by battleships in the background. Long story short, that doom snail essentially ate itself and died over the course of about 5 minutes. But that's how you deal with it. You don't stay up close and personal with it. You kite away and you just luck chuck torps. So Aussie Zeus's 20-kilometer Shimakaze is very well suited to doing just that.
Indeed, but we know, both Des Moines will be running hydro. Both Des Moines obviously will be equipped with radar. So Aussie's going to have to play a very, I want to say a dangerous game because he's got the range on his torpedoes. He doesn't have to risk his ship. A
Hmm.
very cautious game, let's say. He has to play a very cautious game, else he finds himself in real trouble here.
Well, there is a less than cautious game going on in BCAP right now as we have a two destroyer slab fight with Ohio shells coming in to Floop's
Ooh,
Z22. Yeah.
not much out of the Ohio salvo, but Floop's coughing up nearly half his HP to Triarch's Marceau right there.
Yeah.
Now we didn't talk about it, but KSC did pick up two caps, pick up about a 60-point lead here. But now '07, of course, has flipped A. B is contested. Nobody owns C.
Hmm. Well, we've got a Shimakaze and a Marceau in CCAP. Daster coming in, though, with his Kremlin. That's an interesting choice.
That's for working the top end of C here, well into the cap. Serpent Lord's Marceau on his flank. They're trying to push. It looks like they're trying to spot Eagle Lance's Shimakaze. They know he's in that vicinity. Eagle having to smoke now.
And your Death Snail is continuing to advance as now they're kind of allowing themselves to get shot at here, trying to just hit Shadow Wolfish. I think they're just trying to get aggressive, roll up along this side here. If they can threaten Man with an RX-7 Stalingrad, then he's going to have to abandon that position, which means Floops is going to have to abandon his position, and '07 can secure B.
Serpent Lord somehow spotted again. I think does Elgar have Hydro running? Yeah, I think Elgar's got Hydro running. That's how that's happening. Serpent Lord being very aggressive here, continuing to chase Eagle. He can't even spot Eagle through the smoke. He knows
El-
Eagle's there, but
Elgar is using that T-Rex radar. It just went out.
and there we go. Serpent Lord now finally catching Eagle on the surface. Ought to be able to do some good damage to Eagle, but he's going to have to. Yeah, his position means that he grounds himself.
Does, but Daster
Uh-oh.
comes in with a
Oh.
big hit.
Oh! Dastard with a massive hit. They have the opportunity to get
Oh
Eagle right here
no.
just off the stern turrets.
Oh
They
no.
do.
Is it going to be a
The Serpent
trade?
Lord's got to get out of here.
Oh, good
He
timing.
does manage to sneak out of there. Wow, that
Wow.
big Kremlin hit, the giant equalizer here.
He was waiting for that too. That good
He
communication
was.
by that team, setting that
He
up.
was. So now we're seeing the KSC push kind of descend here. They're wheeling around the Kremlin being kind of the hinge point of the wheel as co-ops Marceau, Schwartz's Salem now pushing into Elgar's space. Elgar with nowhere to go. Looks like this game he's going to be the one playing the role of John the Ruthless.
Meanwhile, look at Peyton and heading to B with this Kremlin, basically doing the same kind of thing, like just saying, "This is my cap."
I mean, they don't really have much to keep him out, honestly. Shadow Wolfish taking a whole bunch of damage, but just like we saw Marin doing last game,
Look at,
just
look at,
slowly retreating.
look at Elgar! Look at Elgar right now. Co-op, just going for it, 100% going
He
for
is.
it.
He is absolutely. Co-op's going for the French assassination here with the point blank torpedoes. It's going to cost him some health, but
He doesn't care
there's
if he
no
can
way
get a
that
win.
Elgar can. Yeah, there's no way that Elgar can dodge all of these torpedoes.
And
It's not going to happen. Just like that, KSC up 2 ships, up a cap here in game 3. Not ready to go home just yet.
nope. Brilliant use of the Marceau there.
Really well executed by co-op. Just exactly the kind of thing that you're able to do with Marceau on these maps. It's one of the reasons so many high-level players love Marceau and love Kleber, which of course Kleber banned for this match,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why you're seeing the Marceau.
Right. Well, it's banned for the entire tournament.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Apologies, I wasn't specific enough.
It's all good, dude. They're forced to back off now, as KSC is looking very strong in this battle. Up two ships. They've got control of one cap, ticking up points.
KSC looking really good. If I'm honest, Seth, all they kind of have to do is hold what they've got. They've got a decisive lead in ships. Well, I won't say decisive, but they have a lead in ships at the moment. They have a 200+ point lead. We're just now at the 10-minute mark. All they have to do is kind of just kick back, not make mistakes, not make bad trades,
Mm-hmm.
and they can. I won't say they can cruise to a win. 07's not going to let that happen, but they
No.
can certainly continue tracking towards a win.
It's a good job with Man with an Arc 7. He recognized the threat of Marin's Ohio. Shells coming in, hit the W key, got out of range of those shells. That was beautiful. As now Peyton is, I mean, he's just kind of stuck.
Peyton's position at this point is to to keep the points gain from running away from 07 while they try to figure out where they're going to make a play, right? Because he's got 60,000 HP that he can just park in that cap, and it's going to take them time. It's going to take KSC time to whittle that down. Probably, what do you think? At least a couple of minutes, if not longer. So they've got to figure out what they want to do now to try and salvage this. Both 07 battleships are pretty beat up. Both KSC battleships are in decent shape. So, you
Yep.
reach a point where pushes start to become impractical without that kind of oomph, that big health pool pushing forward, right? And Stalingrad's, you've got a Stalingrad on each team on opposite sides of the cap. In fact, Ace is arguably one of the healthiest ships that 07 has left.
Yep.
They can't really extract Peyton from this position without too much pain, as he's looking at Montana shells now coming in on his flank. Doesn't get much out of them.
No, he's got pretty thick side armor for range, so he'll be okay there. The bigger question is, can they do anything about this death now? And you can see Aussie Zeus trying so hard to get these torpedoes in, but I think the Death Snail is doing a really nice job of preventing Aussie Zeus from having the ability to flank around the side and get those torpedoes in at an angle that, well, could result in more hits.
Absolutely. I mean, Aussie's job in this game is to slow these guys down. He won't win. He might not ever land a torpedo, but his existence, his presence there, the ever-present threat that his torpedoes face, because of course those torpedoes hit like trains, mean that the 07 push has to at least respect his position and be a little more measured and cautious about how they move up that flank. Peyton getting very low now in B. We might have been a little generous saying 2 minutes. It's probably only been maybe 90 seconds.
Right? Here come the shells from the Montana.
Oh!
Done!
Shadow finally gets that. Finally does land a salvo that matters there in terms of on the Kremlin. Up 3 ships now. It's looking really solid for KSC to keep this match alive. This is a winner. This is a must-win game for them if they want to keep going in the winners bracket.
Yeah, this is gonna be it for KSC. I mean, I don't see any way for 07 at this point to get back into this battle.
No,
There's just
I don't see it.
Their healthy assets are all the way on the 1 line trying to work their way up. I mean, now to their credit, that's exactly what they were tasked with doing. But
right. This is what's happened here is that the rest of the 07 board position has kind of fallen apart. Now, let's think about the Death Snail for a minute, right? Like the Death Snail has been doing its job over the course of the game, unquestionably. But in the long run, what are they hoping to achieve with that? Like it's working, the tactic is functionally working, but what's the goal of it?
Of the Death Snail? I'm sorry, I was
Yes, absolutely. Like you're pushing all of these ships up the 1 line to what end?
Well, the end is to prevent KSC from having that side of the map and to roll up on Man with an Arc 7 Stalingrad. It just simply took too long. There were too many things going on with the rest of the map, and unfortunately, 07 lost some key trades early on, which is kind of meant that even though that they are now finally at position to do something, well, it's too little, too late for them.
Does feel that way. They are focusing Dastard's Kremlin and has got Ohio HE going in on him right now.
Yeah.
I really think they're going to bag this kill. Yeah, there he goes.
So
the kill that 07 desperately needs. Looks like Triarch might be making a big play here or trying to.
No. Oh, and
oh,
John the Ruthless taken down, and that
oh my goodness,
That takes care of that, doesn't it, huh?
Yeah, there's no way now. I can't imagine a world where this happens, Zaf.
No.
There's no way. Over 900 points now for KSC. They're on track to pick up their first game of the match and force a game 4 here in this North American semifinal.
Yeah, and you can see now that the desperate push by Triarch to get into C, they know it's pretty much over. So they're going to just
I mean, they're like, why not, right? Like, at this point, they know. I mean, 07's smart enough to know how this ends. Oh, look at this, though. Co-op dumps the Torps.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to come in on the other side of the hull. I thought he was going to use the Marceau hull as, like, armor. And the Marceau hull would have blocked the Torps, but that's not what happened. A solid pole-to-pole victory here in Game 3 on Trap for KSC, Zaf.
Mm-hmm.
So briefly, key to the victory there to KSC. What do you think?
I think they were a little bit more aggressive with their board positioning, and frankly, I think they kind of got lucky too, right? They put that Des Moines Death Snail works best against a push of enemy teams, like 4 or 5 ships. That didn't happen. They only pushed against 2. So
yeah,
you know, I think it's a combination of those two circumstances.
I agree with you on the aggression, and I think to me the key is they gave ground at A where they knew they needed to. They got everything into position at C, and then it was like, okay, here we go. Let's go now. They got a little bit of lucky catching Eagle Shimakaze, right? That big hit from the Kremlin, but then also the textbook chef's kicks execution of the Salem over there on the 10 line. Those 2 quick kills, and they were absolutely in the driver's seat for the match. That aggression worked for them this game in the right place. Better execution is what I think made the difference.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's bring in our analyst desk and see what enlightening things they have to add. How you doing, boys?
Well,
hello.
There was a question of whether or not KSC was going to get more aggressive in Game 3. I think that was answered pretty well.
I think that question's been conclusively answered. Yeah.
Yes, I think that is conclusive. MVP of that match for absolutely goes to that was Serpent Lord's Marceau, correct? Who
Yes.
who sort of I froze because I went, oh man, he is committing so hard to pushing this Shimakaze, and there's so much stuff around him, and he just knew exactly where to go. And I believe it was Eagle Lance's Shimakaze, right? Eagle also still doing a great job of making sure to keep that smoke just within his just within the line of sight to keep himself lit, because a Marceau at close range is going to absolutely eviscerate Shimakaze. But
when Serpent Lord grounded himself, right?
Yeah.
He grounded trying to make that turn out, and I thought, oh, this is going to get bad, right?
Ooh, yeah.
He managed to just barely dodge the torpedo salvo, but even then, without the hit from Dastard's Kremlin, Eagle gets away, because all that Serpent Lord's got that point is his 2 stern turrets. He's going to get some more chip damage, but Eagle's going to jet away around the island and be fine. But Dastard comes in with that massive hit, and the next thing you know, Eagle's on 85 HP.
And it's a
That's 1
Kremlin.
shell.
It's a Kremlin, for God's sakes. Yeah.
That's one shell is all Serpent Lord has to land at that point, and Eagle's going out.
Very, very exciting game there. Congratulations to KSC for taking this to Game 4. They came out swinging, that's for sure. That entire north side, we had sort of predicted beforehand. Oskans and I had said that, well, you know, oftentimes there's a smoke cloud fighting another smoke cloud, or we didn't mention Doom Snail, but you guys got that right away. The 07 Doom Snail going up through A was effective at taking and securing that area. However, it just was so many resources that were then not able to actually translate. And like Zaf pointed out, try to dislodge man with an RX-7 Stalingrad from that position, safeguarding BCAP. KSC took it, KSC ran with it, and well, I mean, it was a hell of a performance.
That's right.
All right, well, let's go ahead. I think they're going to be running the machine in the background to start churning out a little replay thing for us. But in the meantime, if we could pull up the map screen, we can start dissecting the match a little bit. So that one was on Trap. And yeah, so definitely saw KSC more aggressive. And they needed to be that way. They're just not going to win trades against 07. 07 went to take A, and we saw one crucial difference out of KSC this time. They didn't dance around the kiting cap. They kited. That's exactly what they did. They decided, nope, this is not ours. We're backing up. They got the Montana out. They got the other stuff out. They just done with this crap. And they gave it a wide berth. Meanwhile, at Charlie, we got to see that hair-raising play where he just went for it, man. And I was actually wondering, like, they're got that point where it's like, oh my God, he's past the point of no return, man. There's going to be a Salem here, and it's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
But nope, he tactical Notsered, somehow saved it, and then the battleship shells. That aggression, that opened that whole matchup, man, right there. Just done.
It was very exciting, and not only that, but also very well played by 07 to realize what's coming, act appropriately. KSC just sort of had them locked down there. They had Eagle Lance, and then I think it was Elgar's Salem on the northern side of that. Trying to remember, trying to keep everybody's names straight. You know, these folks have all made it to the semifinals. I feel like they deserve as many name checks as possible. So, but you're absolutely right. KSC did the correct thing this time, which was to kite away from the ACAP, not deploy too many resources to defend it, and tie down as much of 07's resources. We might be able to see that here, as it sounds like the replay might be ready. So,
yeah.
yeah. So, you know, the Doom Snail smoke train, which was giving me, I was getting shades of Clan Battle season 14, Clan Battle 14, the smoke cloud cruisers. The Doom Snail is a fine strategy because it allows you to literally just push and push and push, and it helps you take a cap and secure a cap and deny a cap. What it didn't do, though, was it didn't translate into, like I think Zath pointed out, dislodging RX-7's Stalingrad from his overlook on the B cap, which was basically what allowed KSC to keep that unchecked and unmolested. Especially, here we go. We're going to see Marceau. This Marceau just going, I don't think anything can stop me. Nothing's been spotted. I'm just going for it. And there you see, down he goes. And that allows, I always called him I am Coop. Coop, but I guess it's co-op.
No, it's Coop.
It is Coop.
Everybody calls him co-op to troll him, yeah.
There you go. He saw blood in the water, and he went, a lone Salem is a dead Salem to a Marceau. And as the boys in the casting chairs correctly pointed out, the Marceau and the Kleber, both those French destroyers, have that remarkable ability to YOLO and just wipe something out like that, especially a heavy cruiser of the lighter variant like a Salem that just doesn't have that much HP to play with in an Alpha Strike. So, yeah, congratulations to KSC. Did a fantastic job. Look at the position here already of the Montana and the Shimakaze. They did exactly what they needed to do.
They did. Kiting out instead of trying to sit there, trade health, and hold a flank that they cannot hold. They did exactly the right thing. Shima just threw torps after torps after torps. Montana held back. And because the Montana was there, and we actually got to see that, I think it was John the Ruthless, when that smoke went down, took some shells off the board. So that's the second time John the Ruthless has been on the bad end of a BB. Might happen again. But the fact that the Montana was there even kind of forced the Des Moines. They couldn't really return to the battle. They're committed to the Doom Snail. So that kiting action even pulls those assets off the map and just gave KSC such an edge. So I think we're going into the next match here, which is going to be on Land of Fire.
Great.
So hopefully we can see what that map is.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at Land of Fire. We'll talk a little bit about this. So, oftentimes what we'll see happening on Land of Fire, I feel like is a map that there's a lot of close quarters fighting that occurs here, oftentimes around the ACAP. It has one of the fence islands where, again, usually two destroyers or sometimes two cruisers will sit on either side of that island and go, hey, hey, hey. But the C cap is where things get really interesting. If you've ever heard the expression "all roads lead to Rome," all these ingresses from the islands lead to that C cap, which means that trying to get in there and take it and get out alive is very, very difficult. Oftentimes there's a lot of radar. Oftentimes people will literally post up 12 km radar cruisers right below or above the C cap just to make sure that nobody gets in there and takes it. What I have found is that oftentimes how a team approaches dealing with the B cap is often what ends up becoming decisive as it is safe sometimes to park a cruiser on the north or south side of that island just to the west of B, but it's very, very risky, and it opens up cross shots from either east or west sides.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty crazy cross shots on this map. I don't know if this was the match with the 30-kilometer doom shot that took out a Minotaur and ended KSC's hopes. That might have been on a different map, but nonetheless, 07's got the crossfire. They're going to be bringing potentially those spotter plane Montanas that can kick out to 30-plus kilometers, and they've got the players that can land those shots. So that is absolutely something you got to pay attention to. I've seen KSC play this match a few times. I think they're going to get some priority on the B cap. They really do like to try to YOLO in that Des Moines, that Salem, that's something to really take a central position off the map and then start exerting side pressure. The question is, we saw them try to win trades that didn't necessarily work for them. They got a little more aggressive. They were matching the trades, but when they got aggressive, that's when they started making plays. So I want to see, they might shove something into Bravo. They might just do that because that's kind of in the KSC sauce, right? But I'd like to see some kind of YOLO slam over at Alpha, or some kind of just really brutish kind of hit over in Charlie, so they can get this stuff done. Because if they're just going to let Bravo sit and just kind of like bubble and boil and not do anything, and Alpha and Charlie are just going to end up dying to trades, I think 07 takes this 8 out of 10 times.
Well, and that's the thing about 07 too. I mean, 07's been around for a very long time. They have been one of the stalwarts of the competitive community. They have frequently represented North America in KOTS internationals. They don't make mistakes. 07 just doesn't make mistakes. These are some of the best players of World of Warships in the world. They don't make mistakes. They will outtrade you. It's just generally how things work. That's sort of the, that's sort of the going knowledge around, around the competitive areas of the North American League. So how then do you negotiate with them when you actually have to beat them? And it's like, well, sometimes you need to just wait and see when there's an opportunity. Even if no one's making a mistake, an opportunity can present itself, and you have to commit to that. You have to commit to that choice, which is what we saw the two Marceaus of KSC do when they went, hey, we've got an advantage here that they cannot stop. We just have to get rid of that Shimakaze.
Well, let's see if KSC is going to find that way in as we are going into the next game. This is going to be game 4, KSC to 07, 07 up 2-1. Take it away, casters.